Today's how to build is on these two Bionicle guys. Alright, we're going to start with this guy. This one I think is actually just pretty much one of the actual Bionicle sets with a couple modifications. So this is the piece that's the foot, and then we've got one of these red axle to ball hinge joints, and we've got this piece is the leg, so two legs like that, and then the chest here is one of these big pieces that's got the 5 joints on it. It's got this little orange piece that comes off stuck into the front, and then the arms, these big orange arms with the big orange hands. This I took from a Power Miner set, I believe. Yeah, I think what I did was I took 2 different Bionicle figures, one which was mostly orange, another which had a bit of orange. This piece I have no idea where I got. Not even sure what to call it. It's probably from Power Miners though. It's like a in orange. So again, and then the head, it's got this cool fire mask on it, and it's one of these orange things. So yeah, I don't know a whole lot about Bionicle. I don't know what you would call most of these pieces, but I showed you the pieces and where they go. So if you know what they are, you can get them and make him. Pose him in a cool position. I'm cool. This guy is slightly more complicated, so we'll start with the head. So this is some Bionicle mask. What I did is there's this little axle piece here at the top, and I took one of these black ball joints, which has the axle thing in there, and stuck that up in the head, and then down here, this is a double ball joint connector piece that's got the 3 width here, so the whole thing is like 7 long. And then down here, in this other head, what I've done, so this is the other mask that I'm using as the bottom of the head, bottom of the mouth rather. So this piece down here is made up of a lot of these. This is a 3 big pin that I've stuck one of those on, and then I stick 3 of them on there, and then one of them sticks into the mask, and the other 2 stick out like that, and then I take 2 more of those and put 2 long axle in them. Go like that, go like that, and then they're going to stick onto this thing up here with another 3 long pin. So easiest way to do this, take one of those off, stick this on the pin, stick this on, and stick this in the axle at the same time. So there you go, that, and then again put this mask back on the ball joint on top, and then you've got it, and it can open and close mostly by going like that, but there's a little bit of movement in the top once it's open, so you can also have it tuck like that. In the back, took this pin to axle, put 2 of those in that part, and then I've got this really weird piece which is from my old Throwbots. So yeah, stick it on the back there and then push that forward, so it just sort of fills out the head, so there's not a big gaping hole in the side of the head, and it looks more like an actual thing's head. Then and in the back of the ball connector joint, I've got this, again, this is from my Throwbot collection, this green sort of arm leg piece. So that is the head. Now we'll tackle the front legs. So again, what I did when I was building this is I bought two big green Bionicle guys and then combined their pieces with my old Throwbot and other random Technic pieces that were green or close to that color. So this is a lime green sort of claw piece. Got another pinned axle in there. And then I had this other claw piece, and I thought it'd be cool if they went together. So this is a Technic axle connector that's got the number 3 on it, which means it's at this angle, which is slightly off 180. Little 2 wide long axle there. Stick that there. There. It gets it pretty close to going together without, you know, hitting stuff. Then down here, this is big amalgam. So this is just a regular sort of Bionicle leg here in dark green. Got the ball to axle connector. A couple more of those up here in turquoise, held together by a 2 long axle. So then on the front of this, I've got, can get it out. So this is a foot with a 3 long axle in it. And for some reason the foot I put in one of these things. I guess that's like a 90-degree axle connector, let's call that. So yeah, this is the piece there, but again, you could use whatever you got to work with. So then I'm putting that foot there, and then oh, I know what I did that. So yeah, so now I've put through that axle connector, I've put an axle to pin, so I've got a 2 different pin connections. So this will actually be a stable connection down here and not fly back and forth. So again, the bottom of the leg, I've got one of these connections, and we're using this right here to stick in the connection. And let's flip this around so it doesn't get in the way of the foot. So that's this leg piece here. You can see the other one is exactly the same. Only difference is the 2 turquoise things at the top face the other direction, and you can just flip that around. So that's the 2 front legs. 2 back legs are slightly different. The front of the foot is the same, but I've got a slightly different leg piece here. So this was that piece, whatever you want to call that thing. And this is sort of the 90-degree elbow piece in dark green. And then I just got this lime green thingamabobbed thing, adding it on top. And again, 2 of those for the back. Okay, to build the main body, we're going to start out with this, which is a 15 long Technic lift arm, I believe the terminology is. So I've got some black pins that I've stuck in the 1st, 3rd, 8th, 10th, and 10th slot. So there and there. Now I'm going to take one of these, which are sort of the typical, one of the typical Bionicle torso pieces, probably for some of the larger figs. Got my favorite axle to ball connection thing here, and then axle to pin to connect to this pin slot here. And that's where the head will connect. And then this is going to go at the front, like so. And then on top of that, well, yeah, on top of that, we're going to take one of these other big body pieces in lime. I've already slotted some things in here. In this front slot here, I've got a pin, and these are pinned axles right there. And then this, I'm going to slot right in there, I believe. So it fits right there. I might adjust that in a minute. And then this is sort of a chest front piece. In these 2 holes, I've stuck pin to axles, but I just had light gray instead of blue. It's not going to matter. And then right here, not quite sure why I did this, but here's some pins and this 90-degree pin to axle hole converter. And then this goes on these two slots down here. And let me move this lime green one. That one should be there, so that this fits in nicely here. So this is what your body should be looking like. If you want to, you could go ahead and attach the head and the front legs up there, but don't do that yet. So this weird doohickey is going to go down in the middle, so building it now. This again is for my Throwbot collection, or perhaps my CyberSlam. I have no idea what to call this. But in this slot I've stuck a pin and a pin to axle converter. Then I'm taking a 2-long axle into my axle to ball connection, and then this Throwbot arm in green here. And then down here I've got, maybe this is a 3 or 4 long axle to an axle connector to an axle to pin converter, and you'll see what that's for later. So connect that together, and then put this on the bottom of this, so right in these two holes here, so that the front of this matches up with the front of this beam lift arm. So this is just sort of interior to the monster. We'll start with another Bionicle body piece. Then I put 2 pins in here. This is a 6-long axle. I'm going to stick through there so it sticks up the same as the pins. Then another axle-to-axle converter with an axle-to-pin thing down there. The back is a slightly different ball-to-axle converter, and then this sort of claw thing. It's going to be the very tail of this. Gonna go ahead and stick that on the back here, and then this piece is gonna fit. How did this go? It's gonna fit right in the back 3 holes of the contraption here, and then this is where the back 2 legs connect. So you could do that now if you want, but that would be silly. Next, start with one of these sort of crooked finger lift arm pieces. I'm using it in turquoise. This is a 3-long axle. This is a 5-long axle. Down here in this direction, we're then going to take one of these slightly crooked finger ones, like that, and go the other way. Actually, what we'll do is we'll offset it by 1, stick another 3 axle through this one, so that there's a nice stable connection, and then just stick another crooked finger on that side. Then down here what I've done is I've taken a 4-wide axle through both of those crooked fingers, and then I've got this piece in lime down here, another one on the other side. When I was building this thing, I just sort of took all the greenish pieces I had and put them together to fill up space. So there's some random stuff in this. So this is an axle to pin, 90 degrees, and then a 3-long pin in there. Make 2 of those. Stick them on this axle back here, because I didn't forget about it. Close those out with some more big crooked finger lift arms. So you should have a thing that looks like this now. And then back here, this is again the 7-long ball connector, and then this is some Bionicle leg piece in dark green that I had. Sticking that on the bottom here, and then this connects into this gray piece here. So you're going to actually want to take off this axle that I had you put in, connect this into the bottom of this dark gray piece. You'll see how the throwbot arm fills up the midsection. Then take this axle and push it through here again. This is optional, but I'll show you why I like it later. Next, we're going to give this thing some sides. So again, we've got a crooked finger lift arm, Technic pin right there, then a pin to axle converter. We've got an axle to ball joint, sort of just a ball joint arm, ball joint fist. This is probably like a 6-long axle to a throwbot head. And all of that put together looks something like this, which is kind of weird. And then I built a mirror image of that, and then these two are gonna go onto the front into this, I think this hole looks good. And since everything's flexible here, you can sort of adjust it, and this sort of fills out the side of the monster. And nice thing is you can sort of tuck the head in there so it doesn't come flying out all the time. Do the same on the other side. I should have started this video off with a caveat saying I barely ever build in Bionicle, and so I'm not doing like good connections or anything. I just sort of put stuff together and hope that it doesn't fall apart. Alright, and then yeah, what you can do, I forgot about this, to keep them in better is to move these big dark gray, dark green things from the back around. Or maybe I did it this way? No, definitely like this. They're on the outside. They're looking in. Yeah. So right, you've got most of the body now. Now we need to put some fins on the top. So if you'll notice earlier, you've got these pin to axle connections that I had you make. They will come in handy very shortly. So here, I've got this big, cool green fin piece that was from some Bionicle thing. Put a pin here. I ran out of the regular style connectors of this, so I have one that's a corner, but you only really need this to that. 2 of those. And then off the back, I didn't have a piece that just connected here to here axle-wise, so I took something that had some sort of handle and I filed off the top piece, because I have no problem with dismembering Lego when it suits my needs, because the handle wouldn't fit through there. And then again, this is one of those sort of claw pieces, and that fits in there very. Got this cool fin. Then you want to stick it on these 2 ones in the dark green body piece in the back, with the corner slopes facing the front of the fin and the fin pointing towards the back, so that the little claw points towards the front, and then that little claw fits nicely into this space, and that fin goes back this way, and then you can move that piece to make it look like a continuous tail, which was my whole goal in using these cool fin pieces. And this other fin is just again with a 3-long pin through the middle plus 2 connectors, and you can see how I used corner and not corner. And those just go nicely on here, on the front. And then this fin can move up and down. This one can't really because of that fitting in so nicely, but you do it like that, and you've got a cool sort of fin arc for the back. And then you connect the head to the front. Rawr. And you do the arms or the legs, as the case may be. Leg. Leg. leg, leg. Now, you can try to balance this guy on his legs, like so, but when I was, there's not a lot of positions you can get him to stay in. He does tend to fall over a lot. The legs or fall down like that. So remember how I had those little axles sticking out of the bottom? Sorry, little pins sticking out of the bottom. Then I've taken this clear sort of Star Wars blaster and disc, which are from the old Gungan Swamp set, and stuck them on the bottom just as a way of keeping him upright when he's not got all his feet down, so that you can pose him with an arm up or not all the feet quite touching the ground. And that's how I sort of normally keep him, because it's more stable than just using his legs. But again, those things are optional, and you could easily take them off if you wanted to. So there you go. Big green monster. Oh, where was the orange guy to fight him? Oh yeah, he was looking cool. Put his sword in the mouth. Gah, there you go. Dun da da da.